Good morning. We're on day number 86. We're going through Joshua chapter 16 through 18. So chapter 16 begins with a brief overview of all of the lands given to the descendants of Joseph. It gives specific details about the tribe of Ephraim, and the chapter ends with verse 10. It says, "They did not drive out the Canaanites who dwelt in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwell among the Ephraimites to this day and have become forced laborers." Chapter 17 moves to the tribe of Manasseh. And remember, half of the tribe of Manasseh had already gotten their land when they stayed over on the other side of the Jordan. So this is the second half of the tribe of Manasseh getting their portion. And I can't help but wonder if this was an amicable split because half the tribe chose not to enter the promised land. I can't imagine that would have been a real good thing. Verse 1 through 11 gives a description of the lands given to various families of the tribe of Manasseh. So Ephraim and Manasseh received more land than the other tribes because their numbers were greater than the other tribes. But remember, back in Genesis 48, Jacob gave the firstborn blessing to Joseph rather than Reuben because I'm sure you remember Reuben disqualified himself. So he blessed Joseph and said, "Moreover, I have given to you one portion above your brothers." And now we're seeing that blessing fulfilled as they are allotted their land. Verse 12 gives a sad account of their inability to drive out the inhabitants of those cities because it says the Canaanites were determined to stay there. So again, they put the Canaanites to forced labor instead of utterly driving them out. So we're beginning to see a pattern here of their failure to fully obey. And when we get to the book of Judges, we'll see just how much it cost them to allow the inhabitants of the land to remain there. Remember, a little leaven leavens the whole lump.
Right.
In verse 14, we read about the children of Joseph coming to Joshua with the question, "Why have you given us but one lot and one portion to inherit, since we are a great people?" His answer to them is, "You're right, you are a great people, and you shouldn't receive one lot only." And then, in what sounds to me kind of like a sarcastic admonition, he says, "If you are so great, then get in there and clear the land and drive out the inhabitants." Remember, Joshua is from the tribe of Ephraim. So these are his people, these are his relatives. And they seem to feel a freedom to come to him with their complaints, with their requests for more land. But he seems also just as free to answer in the way that he does. So basically what he's saying is, get to work, get the job done. Hebrews 12:1 kept coming to me as I was studying these two chapters, and it says, "Therefore we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith." So get rid of the leaven. Remember, it always costs us more than we're willing to pay.
We do have chapter 18. In chapter 18, we see that the tribes of Israel met together in Shiloh and set up the tabernacle there. It was a central location that could accommodate all the tribes. It was about 20 miles north of Jerusalem. Shiloh was the first place that the tabernacle became a more permanent structure with doors and doorposts, and it remained in place for Israel to celebrate the feast of the Lord for nearly 400 years. Of course, Shiloh was not where the tabernacle was supposed to be, but as in chapter 15, Judah had not been able to drive out the Jebusites from the city of God, Jerusalem. Now the whole land was subdued before Israel, but 7 of the tribes had not claimed their land yet. So Joshua sent out 3 men from each tribe to survey the remaining land into 7 parcels, and he then divided the land between them at Shiloh by casting lots before the Lord. The lot that fell to Benjamin included the city of Jerusalem on its southern border, the southern border with Judah. Benjamin was a much smaller tribe than Judah and did not confront the Jebusites there. but continued to let them occupy Jerusalem until King David, a man after God's own heart, conquered the city for the Lord many years later.
Amen.
Amen.
We got a couple of seconds here. I want to show you a picture of the land allotment of the 12 tribes, just to get an idea of how large Manasseh and Ephraim was. Keep in mind it's backwards. So if you can see this green up here, and this blue spot, those are all Ephraim and Manasseh. So they got a huge area of land.
There's Benjamin.
And there's Benjamin. Jerusalem. Goodbye.
Have a good day.